Hello, I'm Avi Melamed and I'm talking to you from Israel. It's July 2nd, 2017. The United States is back in the Middle East. Trump administration, differently from the previous administration, is conducting a very proactive Middle East policy. In the last couple of months, there has been a couple of signals of the United States in that context, reminding you, for example, the attack of the United States carried out inside Syria a couple of months ago. Today there are US forces operating in the northern part of Syria as well as in the southeast part of Syria, close to the triangle borders of Syria, Jordan and Iraq. The core value of the new administration policy is, of course, the tough approach towards the Iranians, totally different from the friendly approach that was conducted by the Obama's administration. In the context of the recent US signals in the Middle East, there are two major acts that has been done recently by the United States that stands for that. They were taking place in two totally different arenas, remote one from the other, but yet very much connected one to the other. One was the border crossing of Tanaf, located next to the triangle of Jordan, Syria and Iraq. The Iranians are trying to create a land corridor stretching from Iraq to Syria and to stream through that corridor ammunitions and militants, mostly Iraqi Shiite militias that are massively supported by the Iranians. This is a very alarming development, and the United States accurately identified it and moved in to intercept that. There has been a couple of attacks on made by the US targeting some Iraqi Shiite as well as Syrian Assad troops in this region, and the message that was conveyed by the US was received by the Iraqi government, who recently announced that the border is going to be now secured by the Iraqi Borders Patrol, at least for now. That act of the United States is very significant, first because it is intercepting or preventing the establishing, for now, of an Iranian military corridor, land corridor. The ramifications of that corridor are enormously significant, mostly in the context of Jordan as well as for Israel, because the Iranians are trying to establish yet another front against Israel in the Syrian part of the Golan Heights. A couple of days ago I published an article describing the concept of Greater Jordan, and I explained in details why the American move close to the Iraqi-Jordanian-Syrian border was so significant and so valuable as far as the Jordanians are concerned. Announcing the area of the Triangle of Border as a demilitarized zone, as it was done by the United States, serves the Jordanian interest and indirectly, of course, also serves the Israeli interest, at least for now. The second arena where the United States recently made a significant move is the Mediterranean. In the eastern basin of the Mediterranean these very days, the US aircraft carrier George W. Bush is harboring very close to the Israeli port city of Haifa. There is a very strong American signal, and the listener is the leader of the Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hassan Nasrallah. Nasrallah, a couple of days ago, made an announcement saying that in a case of a war between Israel and Lebanon, thousands of Shiite militants, Afghans, Pakistanis, Iranians and Iraqis will stream to Lebanon to fight that war, allegedly to defend Lebanon. Nasrallah's announcements, of course, met a very strong condemnation by different politicians inside Lebanon who truly understand that basically Nasrallah is demolishing the sovereignty of the state of Lebanon. But that should not be surprising, because Lebanon, to a large extent, was hijacked by the Hezbollah in the service of Iran. However, there is a close relation between El Tanaf border passage and the presence of the US aircraft carrier in the eastern basin of the Mediterranean. The common denominator is actually the message carried out by the United States of America to all factors in the region, and mostly to the Iranians and their proxies. The United States is back in the Middle East. Tomorrow I'm planning to visit the Golan Heights. I've been there for the last couple of days few times, and I've been watching the war going on in the Syrian side of the Golan Heights. In the last couple of days, a group of Syrian rebels in the area of Quneitra, the district of Quneitra on the Syrian side of the Golan Heights, assembled under the name of Jaish Muhammad, which means the army of Muhammad, has launched a military campaign, putting the Iranian Assad and Hezbollah forces in the region under pressure. Literally speaking, when you go today to the Israeli part of the Golan Heights, you're just looking into the other side of the Golan Heights, and you could see right in front of you a fierce fight that takes place on the ground. In most of the cases, that fight was not impacting Israel. There has been, however, a couple of incidents of fire drizzling into the Israeli territory. In some cases, Israel retaliated, shooting back and targeting Assad's troops' military targets. This is part of the Israeli policy regarding the war in Syria that actually argues that Israel wished to have no part of this war, and in case there is going to be a drizzling of war or fire from Syria into the Israeli territory, that drizzling will be retaliated by an Israeli military response. This is Avi Melamed from Israel, wishing you all the best, and thank you for listening.